just knew within myself that she had got out, and I just thought, least I can do is be the first to find her. I got up there, and found Mum.
This is a good one. Is climate change making your job harder?
Climate change makes things hard.
So I feel like I'm getting a little bit too ahead of myself. The whole plan was to do this diary of me building this home cinema. I've actually had to start the ceiling before any other part of the cinema, just so I can get some of the stuff that I've already collected off the floor and onto the roof, because I've just got nowhere to store it. But I thought I plan on doing like this whole diary thing, step by step. But before I get too far ahead, I thought I'd pull the camera out and just show you what I've done just here. So this is the ceiling in my big home cinema room. You can see through there, that's my corset shot. Still have to kind of patch that wall up, and a lot of work to do yet. But this is more about the ceiling. You can see I plan on doing a Starfield ceiling, like you probably already know. But I'm doing it in panels. I'm going to have 8 massive big 3 by 1 meter long panels up here. So you can actually see these string lines running along there, and this is why I'm doing the video now, I've already started putting these furring channel clips up. These are the clips this is the stuff here, it's called furring channel. So they clip inside those clips there, and then you put your sheets of ceiling or whatever, plasterboard or whatever you choose to use, you screw it to that. Or in my case, I'm going to be using magnets. But I thought I'd give you a quick look at what I'm doing here. The worst part about my ceiling is, because this is my deck, there's a big massive deck, I call it Ant Super Deck. It's upstairs, and unfortunately at the time I decided to put a fall on the deck. The deck's 8 meters long, so basically that is the lowest point there, and all the way to that point there, that's the highest point. So there's a 1 in 100 1,000 sorry, a 1 in 100 centimeter fall. So basically it's like 8 centimeters different. So down at that lowest point is 8 centimeters lower than what it is up here. So my cinema is going to be just over 5 meters wide, basically from that corner there to that corner there, which basically means is going to be a 50 mil difference, a 5 centimeter difference. And that's just making life so hard. So I'll show you what I've had to do. If you actually look up here, I've put this bit of timber up there, and I've got that pink line. So that actually is, at that point there, 50 mil down. And if we come along to that point there, it just tapers off to basically nothing. So you can kind of get an idea of what I'm trying to achieve there. So that line is level. That's a level line. So when I'm doing the ceiling, you can see I've put these string lines. That pink line there going that way, that's actually just one edge of one of the sheets that I'll be putting on the ceiling. But that's the center one. But yeah, so hang on, if I can stand up here, you can see these lines here are basically run to meet those. Ugh. So that's how I'm kind of getting this whole unevenness of the ceiling right, and I've had to do exactly the same thing to this end. You can see there it's where is it? There we go. It starts right at the bottom of the joist, but if we come all the way back here, where is it? That line there. And of course that's my first furring channel, and that is basically resting just on top of that string line. So hopefully you kind of get what I'm going for here. Now the other thing that I'm trying to achieve as well is every millimeter to me makes a difference in head height. From the ground here to the bottom of that joist, I think is 2.6 meters, so 2600 mil, which is a pretty decent ceiling height. But still, if you think about it, down here, once you put a bit of furring channel down here, see this bit of furring channel there, don't take any notice. I've actually just screwed that to underneath that side there because, well, basically I'm about to explain why I'm doing this. But I don't want to lose any height because of the thickness of that furring channel. So that furring channel is 20 mils thick. So basically, once you put a centimetre or a 10 mil sheet of something, your ceiling, underneath that, I'm going to have a 30 mil. I'm going to lose 30 mil from the joist, and I don't want that. I want it to be as high as possible. So what I'm doing, if you have a look at the way I've done these, oh, hang on, I'm falling. If you have a look at the way I'm doing these clips here, see how they're actually up above the lowest point of that joist. Now, normally you can see here, this is this furring channel, that's not actually going to go in there. So how I've done it is, what I originally planned on doing was to cut sections, like cut that there and that there, and you can see how I've got these clips, they're actually offset. So if I cut little sections of this furring channel, I can actually make it so that the furring channel is in between each joist, and that's going to save me 20 mil. Hang on a second, let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, maybe I'll have to stand up here. All right, let's get here. So you can see here, so the whole idea where are we? There we go. So they will sit, this isn't probably the best example, but if you go down the line down there, this actual piece here is going to be able to sit in here. So then you can screw your sheets of ceiling to that and you'll save yourself 20 mil. How cool is that? It's a great idea. I'm not sure if I thought about it, but it's a lot of extra work. But yeah, you'll save yourself 20 mil. And to me, that's everything. Anyway. But yeah, so I was going to cut little sections off and just put them in between these joists. But then I had an idea of, what if I actually just screw this piece of furring channel next to it? Then I'll go up and I'll mark each joist out, and then I'll notch it out, and then I can actually put one full piece up there and kind of have each, you know what I'm talking about. Sorry about this dodgy camera work. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to notch full lengths of this stuff. So I've basically, yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd show you that. There's a lot of lines. I've actually pretty much done all the furring channel clips along this half of the room. I'm ready to stick up my first 3 furring channels. You can see here that pink line is the edge, basically the edge of the sheets that I'm putting up. And then I've got like a centerpiece. I've got the outside furring channel and then this one on this side. So I'll have, each sheet will have 3 furring channels, and I'm going to be using rare earth magnets to hold them up. But yeah, it's coming along. But yeah, anyway, well, that, you see all that stuff on the floor down there? That's what I want to get off the floor and onto the ceiling, and I can't do that until these clips are up, because this stuff here, that's going to run in between these joists going that way. They're going to be on the joists running all the way down, and that is what I'm going to put my plasterboard on once the acoustic wool is inside. So the plasterboard will keep the acoustic wool in. You won't even see the plasterboard because there'll be a Starfield ceiling, you know, a couple of centimeters below that. But yeah, that's why I had to kind of do all of this furring channel stuff now, get that out of the way, just so I can get this off the floor. Once this is off the floor, then my corset fabric cutout table can go in the shop over there. I'll have more room to concentrate in here, and things will start rolling. But it feels weird. This is feels very weird starting this ceiling before anything else. Like, I would have thought that would have been the last thing that I'd have to do, but no. You can see that's just a little section just to get some heights of the soffits, etc. Anyway, I'm going to wrap things up. Thanks for tuning in. I don't even know if I'm going to use this, but I thought I'd take a bit of footage before I got too carried away, because knowing me, I'll end up doing this and I won't want to pull it apart and redo a proper video. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Later. All done. All done. Well, our fairing channel is up. You know what sucks? Is I have to actually take it all down again after I make sure that my ceiling is nice and level. I have to pull it all down just so I can put in my insulation and you know, screw these pine battens into place and put my carpet underlay on. So that's going to suck. It's pretty quick though. It's not a big deal, but I have to do it this way, unfortunately. But you know, stop complaining and just do it.